mind the makeup, you will see this evening for what this is for. Okay, but to none of you it's a shock. Is that a sentence? I don't know. Anyway, today we're going to go through my February TBR. February TBR. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. It's just a teensy one. Just a teensy. And I'm going to explain for reasons why I have picked this many books. Some of these are mandatory reads. Some of these I've picked from the game that I do now, which is My Life and Trials of Angela Grimm. This is what we're trying to get. Trying to get these little bits here. It's kind of funny actually that the companion we were trying to get is a cat. Completed the Hollow Places prompt book, so we were able to pick up our cat called Chloe from Katie's Kitty Shop, and it was just a coinkydink that Katie also picked that prompt. Next we had to collect our broomstick from Siobhan's Broomstick Shack. Now to get that item we had to complete the self-destruct book, which was Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I completed it. So Sayab Han gave me my broomstick. Next up we had to go to Catherine's Wand Emporium, and in order to complete that prompt we had to read a contemporary book that was indie/self-pub, and we read between the lines. So Catherine kindly gave me my wand and I went on my merry way to Marluce's Marvellous Mall to collect our satchel or our backpack, rucksack, whatever you want to say. In order to get that book I had to read, what was it? For that prompt I had to read The Wedding Crasher. I don't know why it's not on my stack of red books. I don't know where it's gone, but I had to read The Wedding Crasher. I can't remember what prompt that was for. If I remember, if I can find it, I'll put it down below. Oh, it was the Books on a Beat. It was the Books on a Beat cover colour. So yes, that was that. So Marluce allowed me to take a backpack to put all my things in, and then we had to head over to Hattie's Hats Haberdashery. Yes, these names are lame, I don't care. In order to get my hat, every witch needs a hat, I had to complete, I had to finish the book today, tonight, tomorrow, but I can't remember what prompt that was for. Again, I will leave it down below on the screen as to what prompt it was. All of them were contemporary options, and I completed them all. Smashed them out of the park. Boo! So I got my companion, got my broomstick, got my hat, got my wand, got my bag. We are now ready to head over to Crystal Woods. And in Crystal Woods we need to collect 6 batwings, 2 wolfsbane, 1 toadstool, 3 willowbark and 5 moonflowers. So in order for me to collect any of these, you need to see what I chose for my first roll. So in order to get my wolfsbane, I need to go to the next row. The self-destruct book, which is number 7. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the book is uploaded. Oh, wasn't looking forward to this one. Okay, so self-destruct book uploaded. Not the ideal month for a book that I can't get on audiobook, but it is what it is. If I don't read it in February, it gets gone, and fingers crossed I enjoy it. But this was a Box of Stories book, so I'm unsure. The rest of the books from Box of Stories I've on hold, I think, so without reading. Oops. So 11, show you that, 11. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So That is an Alice pick. Okay, so my 12 books, 12 prompts challenge winner, is it a winner? Was Alice. So the book she needs me to read is Paper Girls. Now, I'm struggling to get hold of this physically. I think I've looked, I might be able to get it from WH Smith's. I've had a quick scan. So I will at some point try and get that from WH Smith's. The prompt was to go back onto my Goodreads and then go to the very first book that I finished and then pick a book that reminds me of that book. So, the first one, can you see that? I'll turn my brightness down with it. Okay, so the first one that comes up is A House in the Cerulean Sea. However, that doesn't have a date on it, so I can't pick that. The next one is, can you see that? It's gonna be a no. I'm not picking that. The next one is The Secret, and again, it says there was no start date on there. I'm not gonna do that. The one that I picked was The Sister. I'm gonna stretch this because this month I'm reading Lord of Shadows. One of the characters has a sister, and that's what immediately came to mind. The next one after that is Souls of This Broken City by Kayla Kirby, and it's a fantasy, so I would have just chosen Lord of Shadows anyway for that. So yes, I've stretched it to fit my current mood and reading, because you'll see why for the rest of this. Next up was my first roll of the 3 that I need for the prompts. Now onto the 20-sided dice, which I found again. So, oh, number 7. Number 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the 4 of Cups. Ooh, the 4 of Cups. Cups is a romance of any genre. So let me see what the prompt is. So we'll just pick straight from the top, and we'll go to number 4. A new to you author. Yes! The gods are forever in my favour. Yes! I realised this was a 5, not a 4. So the prompt is female author. Which still works. I can use that. Okay, so as you can see, I did mess up on this one initially. So this was a romance. It was the Cups. Next up, we have, oh, big number 15. Please just shuffle these in front of you, so you know I'm not cheating and skewing the odds in my favour. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is the 4 of Swords. And Swords is a fantasy or sci-fi. And then the next one is last letter, first letter. Damn. As you can see, roll number 2 was another sci-fi fantasy, and it was last letter, first letter. Again, I'm picking Lord of Shadows for this, and I'm also picking Second Star to the Left by Megan Van Dyke. I am reading this for Indie Ink Awards, so I'm going to read Lord of Shadows first and then Second Star to the Left. So, first letter of the new book is the last letter of the first book, so we're winning with that one. And then finally onto roll number 3. And then final roll, 16. God, these big numbers like me today, don't they? Let's shuffle again and then go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The 1 of Swords. Yes! No, 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 no. We have another sci-fi fantasy. We have another sci-fi fantasy. And then, I'm not going to pick them up this time. I'm just going to reach over. An A or the in the title. I mean, could you get any better than that? Could you get any better than that? Jobs are good in. So as you can see, that one was a sci-fi fantasy, and the title has to have an A or the in the title, and luckily I'm reading The Blade itself for the Catch Up Book Club. Winner for that one. And then we've got the rest of my TBR. So, for the By the Angel Long, obviously Lord of Shadows. Christopher Long, we've got God's Grave. For the It's All About Fantasy Book Club, it's Jade War. For the podcast, we've got The Handover by David and Barnett. The buddy read that I've got going on next month is TJ Clune, Under the Whispering Door. I'm also buddy reading God's Grave with Lindsay. That's going to be our buddy read for next month. Nevernight was our buddy read for this month. I do have 6 Indian co-ed books to read. We've got Second Star to the Left, Prince of Sorrows, Heroes, Viatato, Ghost River and Merchants of Knowledge, and Birthright. I don't have to read all of these in their entirety. I can choose to read like 5 chapters. If I'm not enjoying it, I can just use the rubric system they've got and rate it and do it that way. But if I want to continue with them and I'm enjoying them and I want to read them, then I have the option too. So those are the ones that I need to read. We then have This Savage Song, which is an obligatory read for Trouble of a Ding Dong. Poison Garden, which is a Booktube book. And Catching Fire, because I promised Tora I would read it next month. Because Mockingjay, along with other books that are going to break me, are going to be my March reads. So, that is my TBR. Wish me luck. Barely any of these are available on audio. And February's a short month. So will I pass the Crystal Woods in February? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I'm using Lord of Shadows for a few of the prompts. I'm hoping that because that particular side of my TBR isn't extensive, hopefully that means I can still move on to the Frozen Mountains of Bane in March. But we'll see. If you want to know how my reading comes along, watch my vlogs. You'll see the ups, the downs, the possibly pulling all of this ragged, old, tattered, damaged hair out of my head. Maybe. I'm gonna go wash this off. Gonna go sort this out. Away. Probably not. I've just realised I'm just gonna plop a clip in here somewhere where I can find space and let you know that I forgot my readathons. In the month of February, I am taking part in some readathons. So the first one, Polarthon, ran by January Reads. I do it every year. I can't not do it. It's ingrained in my brain right now, in my system. I can't not do it. Okay, so I forgot to start recording this. So my second book for Polarthon is Animal Friend. And my first one was Polar Fantasy. And we're going to do one more. Yay! I can work with all of these. The next one is a series TBR run by Tori from Scottish Last Reads. And I've worked out with Jem that the books I'm already reading can fit nicely into series TBR bingo. And then I'm gonna take apart Feathers and Fur and Fantasy Read Along. I think that's what it's called. There's a list of prompts. You don't have to do them all, but for every book that you read that has one of these prompts fulfilled, you win the animal that it relates to for your fantasy garden. And am I going to find a page in my journal to create my own fantasy garden? Yes, I am. With creatures that I'm going to find and cut and paste from the Tinterwebs. I'm also taking part in Heartstopper Readathon, but again, the books that I'm already reading can just slide right in. Slide right in there. I'm not done. I'm also taking part in Feb at some point along the way, possibly trying to not break myself. And I think there was something else I was supposed to be doing in February. Was that? I think the Heartstopper readathon. I'm sure there was another one I was taking part in, but I can't rightly remember right now what I was supposed to be doing. Maybe it's just 4, maybe it's not, I don't know, we'll have to see. But back to the other Lisa who's wrapping up this video and forgetting that I had a ton of readathons, and I might regret my decision. If you do like me and you want to see more of whatever this is, then please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I am so close to 600 subscribers. As of now, I'm on 590. So, all the help is required to get me to 1,000 by the end of the year. If you're here but you don't have anything to say, you want to let me know that you're here, just black heart, very much appreciated. And as always, the Google form for recommendations is down below. I will be starting that probably March or April, picking up some of those books, because I promise I am not going to do too much in March. Peace out, friends.
Every time I fall in love, it seems to